Hey, I need to talk to you about my lift. Get lift down the road. Great, guys. Right, excellent. Look, sorry, I was having a gossip. I didn't realise that the room had a call to order. Okay, okay, I just want to say that was a bit chaotic, but I think you all did grandly. Thank you very much indeed. And I hope you do get some ideas, connections, and new contacts out of that. I'll think about how to stage that again in the future. But it was kind of quite fun. Sarah, you're going to look after the Ideas Summit for us, aren't you? So I'm going to hand over to Sarah Bird from Outside CPP. I've learned that very well.
Thank you. Keep saying it, because then I remember where I'm actually from. Okay, so we're just going to dive straight in, because we've got loads of people who have... Oh, hello. Are you co-hosting this? Okay. Well, welcome to Graham from Leicester City Council. So we're just going to dive... I've got a list up here of people who are coming on. We'll dive straight in. So first off, I've got Gill, Simmons, and Paul... Oh, some of the handwriting here is a bit messy. Paul Lawton, maybe? Brave, bold drama. Brilliant.
I can speak.
Great. You've got 2 minutes.
2 minutes. Hello, everyone. I'm from Bristol. Brave, bold drama. Brave, bold drama. We have 2 shows that we want your help with and we want your interest with. The first one is a playable family theatre show. It will use the company of international artists' characters. We've already made 2 of these shows. They are playable, so the children control the narrative and decide who we should interview and where we should go in order to try and solve art-based mysteries. We've made one called the Munch Mission, which is where they solve an art heist. We've made one called the Midnight Mission, where they have to solve a poltergeist mystery. And we want to make a 3rd one about forgery. Because, interestingly, there have never been any recorded female forgers. This either means women are really great at forgery and want to keep it that way, or it also possibly means that men do it because they then want to kind of prove and pull power and go, hey, look, I fooled all of you people, and they kind of want that payoff. Either way, we're interested in the fact that there's never in the history of time been any known female art forgers, and we want to make a family playable theatre show about that. Yes, please, thank you. The second show that we want to make is called The Keepers, and it is set in 1969 on a fictional island lighthouse. Why 1969? Because that is the last year in Britain that lighthouses didn't have helipads. And therefore, if you were on an island lighthouse in 1969 and something went wrong, you only had the 3 of you to get through it. And we find that a very powerful metaphor. So we want to make a show for families that is about what happens if something goes wrong, because a lot of children's lives, things have gone wrong. And we feel that a lot of family theatre can be a bit simplistic and can be scared of acknowledging that sometimes life isn't quite as we want it to be. We want to make a show called The Keepers that is a tool with child psychologists on board for a resource for families to be able to talk about maybe what happens if something has gone a little bit wrong. How do humans regroup around and reshape their team in order to carry on? And that's kind of things for Coastal. Thank you very much for your time, and good night.
Thank you, Jill, from Brave, Bold Drama there. Okay, Eleanor from Beside Ourselves. So you think you can rule. Where are you, Eleanor? Eleanor. Are you here, Eleanor? Besides Ourselves?
She's in the Arts Council meeting, I'm so sorry.
Okay, right, next one then. Emily Robertson, Highly Sprung, Accelerate. Emily? Mark? Okay, Mark. Come up here. You've got 2 minutes, Mark.
I'll do it in a minute.
We want to do it in a minute. Oh, well, okay. Is that what Sarah says, yeah?
Hello everyone, I'm Mark from Highly Sprung, and it's lovely to be here. I'm going to try and do this in a minute, and then take another minute just for my exit. We are making a show, we're planning to make a show called Accelerate. Does everyone remember when lockdown happened, and we all sat on our keyboards, and we were keyboard warriors, and we all said, let's build back better? It was a great idea back then, and how is it working for everyone else? Everyone else feeling tired? Everyone else feeling exhausted? You have no energy? Yep. The planet's exactly the same. Oh, how meaningful. So Highly Sprung, we do environmental outdoor work. So we've done Urban Astronaut, we've done Castaway, which I'm sure you've all come to the marketplace and taken a lovely suite and used it to decorate our performer on the picture. We want to make a show about the energy crisis about the planet, but also about us as humans. And we are setting it on treadmills with bungee. What could go wrong? So bungee aerial on a treadmill. People said we couldn't make an astronaut fly. We did. People said we couldn't make a fully gyroscopic flying machine. We did. We can do treadmills and bungee. So if you are interested, we are looking for commissioning partners, people to sort of help support that Arts Council bid that is going in very shortly. And also, another idea I just had talking to lots of people out there. Highly Sprung are also experts at community work and working with children and young people in the community. We've recently won a Pearson's Gold Award for our work in education. And actually, theatres and arts companies who work inside theatres do loads of outreach work. Why aren't we doing it as an arts organisations and industry? Why aren't we going out to schools during the week, delivering work about the work that they can then see at the weekend? It's a no-brainer. If anyone would like to have a conversation about that, I would love to have that conversation. I've gone over a minute, I apologise. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mark. Next, we've got Jon Hicks. Oh, there you are, Jon.
Thanks very much. We're trying to make a new show. Two workmen steal their moment in a silent comedy eccentric dance double act to music. I'm not a trained dancer, but I use dance in shows quite a lot. I've worked in a double act with a guy called Matt Rudkin. We've enjoyed it thoroughly, and we want to make a new show. Why this? I turned 60 last year, and I want to do a show while I can and show to other people that you can still enjoy exercising at a certain age. I want it to be environmentally friendly because I've always got loads of props, but I don't want to be preachy about it. I just want to do it. So we're going to be able to take it on the train. It's just going to be two people. It's going to be light on its feet, we like to use. We've done a lot of a community engagement in a recent project, and we want to pursue that, and so potentially get people involved in the show, older people and younger people, primary school age, and give them a chance to devise a routine within the show. And we'd also like to be able to share the show for free at either a primary school or a care home at festivals. We'd make that a kind of a rule of doing the show. That's about it. If anyone's interested in kind of helping us produce it, that'd be great, or seeing more about it. Thanks very much.
Thank you, John. Jenny Wilson. Jenny Wilson, Irregular. Is Jenny here? Going once? No? Okay, we shall move on. Vince Virr. Are you here, Vince? If you are pitching, by the way, if you could come closer to the front, that would be great, just to save some time. But no Vince? Where are you, Vince? Another Arts Council. Okay, Mo Rahman, installation?
No, it's not installation.
I'll let you describe it. You okay? Good. Confident? Very confident?
You don't know me, that's why. Hi folks, my name's Mo Rahman. I live and work in Bradford, but I also run Intercultured Festival, which is in its 4th year this year. Intercultured is basically, we set it up during the pandemic. I know we probably don't want to hear about that, but I don't want to carry on about that. But we set it up basically working with communities because they felt like they weren't represented. We work with marginalised people who felt like we work giving voices, we work with refugees and asylum seekers, we cross them over, so we're bridging into established communities so we can, foster more understanding. So, we can carry on like that. So we literally do everything under the sun. We do open mic nights, we do theatre performances, we do a massive cooking strand, we do mini concerts and not many family fun days, but we are looking to develop an outdoor strand. So we're looking for people who are interested in helping us develop this strand, partners, collaborators, artists, funders. We'd be happy to throw your money at us. There's no problem there. So that's the reason why I'm up here, because that's where we're looking at hopefully for the future of Intercultured.
Brilliant. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Mo. She's also brilliant. If you need a chef, then Mo's your person. Go to her and she'll sort you out with some brilliant cooking as well. Next, we've got Charlie Hammond. Grind.
Yeah, I'll be quick. Hello, I'm Charlie Hammond. I'm a street theatre performer and clown based in Sheffield. I work a lot for Piff Paff, for Reckless. I've done some stuff for What the Plank. Anybody who needs a performer, I will take your money. Thank you. I am making my first sort of solo show in the outdoor arts, which I've got some residency time with Sheffield Theatre Delhi. It's going to be called probably something like The Daily Grind. It's going to be based around a little coffee cart. Turns out coffee is actually really fascinating and was one of the big drivers of global capitalism and the great Wall Street crash because it was a big commodity. I'm very funny. I'd like to make that show. I'm going to make it off my own, sort of in a small way if I don't get money, and if I get more money, then I can make it bigger and better. Yeah, please employ me. That's the pitch. Thanks very much.
Thank you. Okay. We have another Eleanor from Piff Paff. Eleanor from Piff Paff, are you here? Are you? Jenny, why don't you come on now?
Prepared. How long do we have? 2 minutes. I'll try and do it in 2 minutes. Okay. I'm Jenny Wilson. I'm from Bradford. I have about 16 million different things I'd like to pitch, but I'm going to start with misinform. I tell lies about places. So if there's any stories, urban myths, that kind of thing about the place where your event is, or the place where you live, or whatever, I wonk those stories into not quite truths, alternative facts, as Donald Trump would put it. And I have a misinformation tent and an alternative facts table, and I give people badges that say you've been misinformed, and I take them sometimes on guided walks around their place and tell them lies about where they live. Which was hilarious in the World Heritage Site of Saltaire when a bunch of Japanese tourists tagged along. I've actually had my facts quoted back at me, sorry, Saltaire. So that's one. The other is I just got a DYCP, whoop, whoop, and I'm experimenting with music and poetry and a bunch of other things. And what I want to do is write alternative and non-toxic love songs. Most love songs are kind of like, if you leave me, I will die. And life has no meaning without you, which is really, really problematic on a number of levels, I think. So I would love to do projects where I interrogate queer communities, alternative communities, and alternative kinds of relationships. Our relationships with our children and our family members and our communities, and the way we love flowers and interesting buildings. And write love songs about those and share them back with the communities that I do that with. And if, last but not least, I just ran the session in the attic about consent. And that is not about sex, it is about agency and choice, and in particular in this sector, whether it's okay or not to drag someone onto the stage and force them to do something, or whether you can do that in a more consensual way. And I have developed a consent compass, which is a little kind of like checklist tool thing to help you work out whether you're performing in a consensual way or not. And I would love to share that with people, train people in it, help people make their work more consensually. That's me.
Brilliant. Thanks, Jenny.
Next up, we've got Vince Virr.
Yay. Hi, I'm Vince Virr, a Bradford-based dancer, choreographer and aerialist. I want to get some money for some trussing and partners to show me where I can set up some kind of aerial workshops so people can do like sea aerial, try aerial and training aerial workshops. So I'm running kind of Bradford aerial arts, so I do wall running on the sides of buildings, hoops, straps, flying pole, bit of silks. I'm going to get a cordelice. But I just think it's about, setting up in different communities and getting people to like try stuff and try something new, but also having that trust and the kind of infrastructure to be able to take it out and perform, get the communities to perform, also train local people up. And I didn't really explain that very well, did I? But also, if you do want any site-specific stuff on quarries or walls, then let me know.
Thank you very much, Vince.
Now this man needs no introduction. It's Birmingham's finest, everybody. Give it up for Johnny Autin.
That's the reaction. Good afternoon, everyone. I do need an introduction. Autin Dance Theatre, we do giant puppetry. Maybe you've seen Angus. We were in his top 10. There was Echo, the sea giant, that was there. We've been going to a lot of festivals. Last year and the previous year, I've been working a lot with Amal, the giant Syrian puppet, Amal the Walk. My partner was one of the puppeteers who were walking it. And after the pandemic, we've done Big Brum Boogie, which was including young people, inviting young people and older people from care homes over 65 to perform a big flash mob all around town in Birmingham. And drawing from those 3 different projects of bringing people together in the streets and a lot of different stuff that can happen, I came up with an idea for a new show, and I'd like to pitch it to you. It's called Parade, the Giant Wheel. It's got 2 parts. One is a giant wheel, a 4-meter tall German wheel that we've maxed out to 4 meter tall, and it's for 5 circus artists or aerialists. So if there's any circus artist or aerialist or circus company that would like to collaborate with us on bringing some performers on, that would be lovely. We're starting to play at the end of the month. And the other, so the wheel is an excuse to bring people together, but we're going to create beautiful, magical, high-level stuff on. And the heart of the project is a processional, large community casts, inclusive, diverse, and intergenerational. So we're going to work for many weeks in each of the festival cities where we're going, to go into primary school, care homes, different diverse, inclusive groups to co-create some movement, some processional work with wheelchair users and a lot of different people. So the idea is to question what does community mean and to go on a walk together. It's going to be non-verbal. It's going to be from people with different politics and different ideas of what community means, but we're going to co-create together a beautiful moment. And within those procession moments, the wheel, which is a little bit the thing I'm excited right now because it's arriving next week. The wheel is 4 meter tall. It's super versatile. It's going to wheel down the streets. It's going to be on a hamster wheel moment. It's going to be on a revolving platform. And then there's another setup that I'm not going to reveal. So we're looking for circus artists. We're looking for commissioning money because we're still in the developing year. And we are looking for other festivals who'd like to go on this beautiful community professional journey with us. Thanks for your time.
Thank you, Johnny.
Next up, we've got OAUK Champion. Halfway? Yeah. Come. Okay. Next up, we've got Olivia from Joli.
Is that me? Hi, thanks everyone. I'm Olivia from Joli. We're currently touring our show Timeless, which isn't a new idea, but we're still obviously looking for interest for the show, and we're also focusing quite a lot more on some community projects that run alongside that show for this year. So please do talk to me about that if you're interested. We've been asked to bring an old show of ours. It's an indoor show, and we've been asked to turn it into an outdoor show. It's just quite a new development. So a venue in Bournemouth where we live called the Old Schoolhouse is commissioning us to do this. And the show is called Stateless. It's about refugees and immigration and journeys. And we're working with a local group of refugees to be able to become part of our soundtrack for the show. And then we're working with a young group of refugees to create actually a photographic project. So they're going to come in and work with us in rehearsals and take some photos, and then we're going to create an exhibition. And we're just trying to, we're also looking at doing some movement work, but it's a little bit more complicated at the moment, but it's not something that we want to rule out. So I think at the moment we're really looking for commissioning partners, and also it is very new idea at the moment, although I say that, but it's actually being performed in June, so it's not that new. But yeah, so we're also looking for future interest for the performance and for the longevity of the show. Have I said everything? Yes, brilliant, thank you.
Great, thank you. Eleanor. Back from the Arts Council.
Hello, I'm Eleanor. I'm Kate. We are from a theatre company called Beside Ourselves, as we quite often are. And we've been making roving shows and walkabout for the last couple of years. We were the England recipient of the Four Nations bursary this year, which is amazing. Thank you out there and partners who supported us to create our current touring show, which is called The Roving Court, where I'm a judge. Kate's a lawyer. We put people on trial in the street. And we've got a new idea that we're looking for partners and commissioning for.
So the idea is called So You Think You Can Rule, and we will essentially be roaming the streets to find the next world leaders, since the current ones are doing such a terrible job. And it will take the form of a game show, possibly / cabaret. We're also looking to expand our access ability to our work by including BSL performer in the actual performance of the show and the creation of it as well. So it's quite an ambitious project. Yes, I will hand back to you.
Great. And for anyone who remembers Wet Picnic, big touring street theatre company who we've both worked for a long time, and their show, The Dinner Table. So we've inherited that piece of set, The Dinner Table, and we're going to create a new show with it. So it'll be around the idea of this round table that can move through the streets. It's a big table on wheels, like a dinner table, if you can imagine that. Yeah, so we're going to reuse that piece of set and change it into something else. So we're looking for people who are interested. We think it might be might need quite a few R&Ds. So people who think that's something that I might be interested to get involved with, that could have a loose kind of structure this year and something bigger the next year and the following year. We think it's a show that might have quite a lot of longevity. So yeah, if you're interested in that idea and where it might go and how it could work on the street, please let us know. We're Beside Ourselves. We're in the delegate list on an email, something. Thank you.
Brilliant, thank you guys. Next up we've got Jared Shanks, BrainFools.
Yeah, I'm Jared Shanks. I'm with BrainFools. We're a contemporary circus company. We came here with Lucky Pigeons, but we have a new show that we're putting together, and our whole thing is trying to create shows that aren't as reliant on having 20-foot ceilings, or meters, that's what you use in this country. But we're trying to create a show that's all about our interactions with objects. So we're trying to build structures out of objects and people, and then hang aerial off of them. And also using this as a way to kind of explore how objects can have a lot of sentimental value, and we can lean on objects both like professionally and kind of interpersonally, and this exploration of this kind of relationship that we have with those kind of things. And we're in the kind of, we've done an R&D, and we're in the kind of point where we're looking for venues and places that are willing to let us perform this new piece and hire artists and really finalize it and start the whole process. So if you want to, please talk to us. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Jared. Chris Singleton, Brave Words.
Hi, I'm Chris. I'm from Brave Words. We are making a show this summer called Mutton, which is a 3-part arts project. The 3-part tells the story of Mary Bateman, who is one of Leeds' most famous witches, who, amongst other things, told her husband to leave town for a few days and then sold all of his furniture, kidnapped a hen and forced it to lay holy eggs, and invented the return of the plague. So the three parts of that will be a community storytelling element, which is run in disadvantaged communities of Leeds. We're then going to partner with local festivals in those same areas where Mary will be a walkabout piece, where Mary will be pursued by the constabulary and possibly a local angry butcher, including some vagrant school children from our youth theatres that we run in the area as well. And then the third part of it will be an indoor play. So when they meet Mary or one of the children, they'll hand her a magic charm, and it'll say on the back of it, please come to the play on this date in this community centre in your local area. So unless you've got a suitcase of money, we don't need help with the first bit, as it were. But beyond that, we're really looking to do a touring element of it, which the dream version will be to go from the west coast, somewhere, Liverpool, Ulverston, somewhere, all the way across the north to the east coast to Hull. So we're looking for partners in festivals, partners in community organisations that work with disadvantaged areas, partners who are commissioners who have suitcases full of money, or just like witches. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Chris. I like the suitcases of money. Who's next? James, another of Birmingham's finest, I have to say. I'm slightly biased to Birmingham. Second finest. Oh.
Hello. So this is the River Thames. 1 centimetre equals 2 kilometres. There's a 40-minute storytelling narrative that tells you all the facts and history and myth and wildlife on this river. But this is just the Thames. This summer it's going to tour down the Thames. But there are a load of rivers in this country. So our invitation is for people to commission textile artists or sewing circles to make maps of their local rivers, commission local writers to write the stories of those rivers, and local performers to do one performer for each river, to tell the story of the river in a location near them and tour it. And we would very gladly help make all that work and add it to our library of rivers. We've got the Thames, we've got the Volga, Lancaster Art Commission, the Loon. There are loads of rivers out there, some amazing stories. We'd love to work with you to make them real. Thank you.
Thanks, James. And some of you may have seen James today in our foyer. James is one half of the commentators, which is also a brilliant outdoor show that they do. So, James Yarker. Is that correct, James? Have I pronounced that right? It's great. Okay, who's next? Thor. Wow. Thunder and lightning. Where's Thor? Is Thor here? Aswan? Is it? Yeah, he's with the Arts Council. Okay. He's in Asgard. Very good. Okay, Darryl Carrington. Hi, Darryl.
Hello, everyone. My name is Darryl J. Carrington. I'm a silent clown. This year, or last year, I made my first little solo show, self-produced, and I was in a circus performer for 15 years, but recently got diagnosed with ADHD. Those of you who don't know, it's attention deficit no issues, hyperactivity disorder. I've got medication, so I can do forms now, so that's why I'm here. And yeah, so at the moment, I've been, no, I'm not doing the stuff I'm doing now, it's the stuff I want to do. The stuff I want to do is bring digital to the streets. So I'm a street performer, and I love doing work in wonderful places in the streets. But what I want to do is a dog show, but bringing green screen to it. So I'll be the handler, and then there'll be a puppeteer with a morph suit and a border collie dog. And the idea being that the live show is the making of the film. So there's kind of like, so it's funny, and people get the joke that it's kind of being made. Some of the things that be in it, so like you get an audience member out, you put tennis balls on them to make them do the animation of like a stick man that'll be drawn. Then that wakes the dog up, and the dog comes and gets the balls, and then for the finale, there's like 3 people, and the dog like jumps on the backs, then catches a frisbee that some kid's got on like a green stick. And then the idea being that it's all done with quite low-tech digital technology that you can have in your pockets. And the idea being that the next day, you then release the video on social media, so then people can kind of see it. And the idea being that, you know, you've brought the stick man to life, so it's actually doing the stuff that the person was doing. And then, you know, oh, have we done this? Like, how's the collie doing that trick? And the kind of the joke is that, you know, the next place you go, oh my God, so amazing, how'd you do that? So, oh, then you do the making of, and it kind of like rolls on. And the idea being that it'd be really great to get people involved with that. And at the moment, totally self-produced, but I would absolutely love producers or people who want to work with someone with neurodiversion or explore these kind of topics. It'd be amazing and stuff and things, and thank you. Cheers.
Brilliant, thank you, Darryl. Next up, we've got Lina from Mimbre.
Hello, I'm Lina Johansson. I'm Joint Artistic Director of Mimbre. We are touring a couple of shows this summer, Lifted and Look Mum No Hands, but I just wanted to pitch an idea that's so early on that there's hardly an idea there. So we're looking for a couple of residencies with festivals either this summer or the autumn to work with your audiences towards a new show idea for 2024. So very gentle meeting and workshopping this idea with them off stage, not necessarily creating something there and then, but hearing their strategies in life, how to keep going with things that are challenging, and then playing with how we can physicalize and visualize those strategies to share with others, using bodies, acrobatics, circus, and magic, to find ways to basically float above the shit, high up in the blue sky. So I'm basically just doing Angus style of like trying to put a positive spin on hard times to keep each other going. So yeah, it's not going to be therapy, it's going to be beautiful. But you're just interested in working with people's audiences, and that might just be because you want to tick some Arts Council boxes, but I would really like to find a way of doing that like with artistically how to involve audiences much earlier on in our process. So that's what we're interested in. Also, just really quickly mentioning that in the outdoor worlds, Mimbre is more known for our like nifty, smaller shows, but we do quite a lot of larger scale collaborations, fusing acrobatics with other art forms like opera and fashion and theatre and stuff. And we have absolute brilliant pool of female and non-binary acrobats and circus performers we work with, as well as a strong team of creative collaborators. So yeah, we're just really interested in like always talking about if people are interested in site-specific work or commissions or collaborations. We've also run a local youth program for nearly 15 years in our local borough of Hackney, so we sort of have that experience to bring as well. And we like to cultivate an impression of being really busy, but we always want to talk. So, you go like, oh no, they're going to be too busy, but no, please talk to us. We really thrive on collaborations. So even if you just have an early stage idea, just chat with us, and we can just, even if it's just a conversation, we're just really interested in that. That's it.
Brilliant, thank you, Lina. Okay, Alex Rigg. Hello, Alex.
Thank you. Hello, I'm Alex Rigg. I have a dance theatre company called Oceanallover. I'm based in southwest Scotland, and we have been making work outdoors for quite a few years. I've got just a very early stage idea to put forward. A friend of mine in Edinburgh, Isadora, who is from Athens, suggested that we look at Heracles, which is a story written by Euripides. It's a kind of a retelling of a story that's been told many times about this hero character, warrior, who returned home from biffing things and squashing things and sorting the world out, and was celebrated by his community, but the jealous goddesses decided that he would go crazy and kill his family instead. So, it's a tragedy, clearly, but it's also a mystery because after that, within the story, the local town thought, well, never mind, tough luck, Heracles, that's pretty poor for you. I mean, it's worse for your family, but, never mind, and let's get on. And they looked after him, and he was given a second chance. And it's a shocking story. If you haven't read it, you should read it. It's absolutely shocking. On so many levels. It's shocking on so many levels. And so what my proposal at this stage with Isadora is to initiate the Heracles Club. I mean, that's the thing he carried, was a club, but I thought the Heracles Club. And it's a series, could be potentially a series of events with communities in which we have a discussion with the community and find what part of that story is relevant for that community. So, for example, the women in the community who have been beaten, because that's what happened to his wife, beaten to death, or the children, or the town who supported him, or the idea of the male hero, conquering hero. We'd have a banquet in which this subject in question would be debated, and we will costume you, and we will allow the moment to enter some kind of, I don't know, transcendental state in which somehow or other we're able to discuss these monumental ideas with the hope that the hero figure, the male conquering hero figure, can be somewhat diminished.
Thank you very much. Next up, we've got Jack from Ramshackalicious.
Yeah, I'm Jack from Ramshackalicious. I was going to be presenting an idea with Bron from Hijinks. We're trying to make a co-production together, but they've gone home already, so it's me. We're looking to make a Buffon clown army with 7 performers from Ramshack performers and from Hijinks performers. Hijinks are an inclusive theatre company. And it's all about disrupting public space. And it's about playing with the archetypes in society who control us, the politicians, the business people, the police, the army, and sort of playfully playing with these archetypes and seeing how we can sort of totally disrupt a public space and how we can play with controlling people, basically. And the end result is we want to try and find a way to incite a joyful riot. So there's going to be a lot of love in it. A lot of love. I'm starting the process at the moment. I'm going into Hijinks sessions at the Academy 2 days a week, and we're exploring form, we're exploring clown and Buffon together, and developing skills together, and that's going to sort of build towards some residency work. We're bringing a teacher over from Berlin to come and teach a week of Buffon with us. So what we're looking for is some people to help us R&D this production this year, partners to space, or any financial support people have got with a view to making the production the following year. Thanks.
Thank you very much. And I think last but not least, we have Natasha from Same Difference Arts. Natasha, are you here? Why do I feel the Arts Council is not this person again? Okay. Well, that brings the Ideas Summit session to a close, unless there is anybody in the room who wants to come up on stage to pitch an idea. If not, then I think that's the end of this Idea Summit. Okay, so thank you very much for your time. Oh, hang on. No, we have one contender. One contender left. If you wouldn't mind introducing yourself.
My name is Devika. Accidentally, I'm here today. I work a freelance business at the Balbir Singh Dance Company. Got this pass. I'm Indian classical dance and theatre artist, associate artist in Stage at Leeds, University of Leeds. I have a big dream going forward, which is making a large-scale outdoor performance, and which is based on mainly movement from Indian classical dance and theatre. So I'm looking forward to bring more people into the art form. So you're welcome, and please do connect me.
Great, thank you. Well, thank you very much for attending Ideas Summit. I know the bar, I think, is open, so maybe we'll see some of you in there. But yeah, hope you enjoyed the conference today, and we look forward to seeing you all soon. Thank you.